You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
Welcome back to another episode of Mindset Monday. We're excited to have you with us today, wherever it is that you are in this great country of ours, the good old US of A. Now, I'm not a politician, and frankly, I'm not a fan of politics at all, but I will tell you that this country has always been stronger together. We're all after the same thing. We want a better life. We want an opportunity to succeed. We want our family to be protected and taken care of. So if we're going to focus on anything in the future, let's focus on that. Now, that being said, what a fun and exciting week last week was. I say fun and exciting, but we all interpret fun and exciting in a different way, right? If you ask me, do you like skydiving? Would you consider that fun and exciting? I would tell you no. But I have a 70-year-old friend of mine who would say yes. Would you say, how about roller coasters? I will tell you that I've gone to Six Flags and Universal Studios and sat on the sidelines watching my children go through all the loop-de-loops because they really enjoyed it. And I don't, right? Now, conversely, if you say, hey, running toward the sound of gunfire, protecting people, putting bad guys in jail, like, is that fun? Some people are like, nope, I don't like confrontation. I don't like that kind of stuff. I'll be like, sign me up. Let's go, right? So fun and exciting. It changes for everybody. But I want you to understand one thing, and I'm really going to focus on this today, is you have two ways to look at your business and you have two ways to look at your life. That's it. There's no other ways. There's only two ways. These two ways, ready for them? Fun and exciting, or chaotic and crazy as hell. That's it. Now, here's the crazy part. Depending on how it is that you're looking at your business is exactly how you'll approach your business. Think about it this way. If you walked into your backyard and you saw fire, what would you do? Well, you would run to either grab a bucket of water or grab the hose or do something to put out the fire. If you walked out to your backyard and you saw green grass, what would you do? Well, probably enjoy yourself, right? Point is, you're always going to see what you're looking for, and then you're going to react to what it is that you're seeing. Now, again, if you're joining us live, we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and drop your name, drop your business, drop your location. We want to say hi. We want to shout you out, but we're also giving away a $50 Lowe's gift card today. So go ahead and drop your info. I will shout you out. Don't worry about it. We'll get you, but make sure you get your information in there so we can add you in our drawing to win a $50 Lowe's gift card. We got Brian from Washington. Welcome to the show, Chad. Good to see you again. Chad Cranfield Construction, Southeast Indiana. We got Ryan. See, this is where you start to know people. I think Ryan's from Florida, if I remember right. But we'll see when he drops his information in there. Again, if you're joining us, go ahead and drop your information. I'll shout you out, but we'll also enter you into our drawing to win a $50 Lowe's gift card. We got Chappelle Pressure Washing, Washington, or I think that's Washington, and Solar Pro Cleaning. Chandra May from Hotlanta. Welcome to the show. And then Chappelle from Conroe, Texas. Man, we're just rolling in now. I love this. Handy Hands Home Improvement from New Jersey. Brian's Radiant Electric in Washington. I was just in New Jersey a couple weeks ago. So it's a beautiful place. Really liked it. Ryan, Bakersfield. I was wrong. Ryan is from Bakersfield. Although I have been to Bakersfield. My sister used to live there. My question to you, Ryan, is do you live in Bakersfield or Oildale? There is a difference. Which one? Now, back to the topic at hand. You're going to perceive and react to what it is that you see, right? When I was working as a police officer, we spent hours, countless hours focused on perception versus reality. Why? High risk, right? Because think about it. If I think you have a gun, I'm going to treat you differently than if you don't have a gun, than if you have a flashlight in your hand, right? So I have to be able to perceive the right thing. I have to be able to see the right thing. On Saturday, we ran a workshop for contractors here in Salt Lake. We had 15 different contractors there, ranging in business from $750 a year to $15 million a year. Kind of the the gamut, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and pause real quick. We got some more people piping in. Edwin Rivera from Virginia, welcome to the show. Rupert Quick Fix and Stucco. Maria is in Austin. She needs more contracts. Don't worry. We talk about all that fun stuff in here. We got you. We got you. And then we got Monica de Campos, EC Quality Services, located in Massachusetts. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. By the way, I love seeing women in construction. It's one of my favorite things. Why? Because there's too many idiot guys out there. And you know I'm talking to you. Women are so much more organized than we are. God bless them. Thank the good Lord I have a good wife, too, that keeps me on track. All right. So back to this topic at hand. We're talking about perception reality, right? High risk, high reward. In construction, it's no different, right? You're in business to make money. You're in business to keep money. You're not in business to bid on a job and then lose money. Like, you don't have a business at that point. Crazy stat. I've said it before, but it's been a minute. Crazy stat. Ready? 4% of contractors ever hit 7 figures. 4%. 0.4% ever hit 8 figures, which is $10 million. Think about that for a minute. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible. In fact, if you want the blueprint between Contractor Plus and what Justin's created and what we have, you have everything you need. Now you just got to execute on it, right? But we have everything you need. We have the framework. But the reason that so many contractors fail to reach the business success that they want has nothing to do with the game plan. It has nothing to do with their desire. It's the lack of the clarity, being able to see what needs to happen and how to make it happen. At this workshop we had on Saturday, I had my good friend, Tim Brown. Now, Tim owns RGS Exteriors. Crazy part about RGS Exteriors is they are a 4th generation company. His great-grandfather started doing rain gutters in Utah. I couldn't even tell you how many years ago. Then he passed it on to his grandfather, then his father, which, by the way, his father's in his 70s. And I think last year barely got off the roof, or off the ladders. Kind of crazy. And then Tim, right? Now, Tim went to school. In fact, he went to a prestigious business school and got a degree in business management. In his free time, he was hanging gutters, right? So he was working in the business. And when he graduated, he was faced with the decision: get a job just over broke, right? Go work for somebody, his father, somebody else, or commit to being a business owner and create a business that supported that lifestyle. And he committed to being a business owner, right? Now think about this. For 3 generations, they've been doing it the same way. They've been running the business successfully, but it would be what we would call the lifestyle business. Now, what's a lifestyle business? Well, it provides for the lifestyle that you want. Most contractors end up with a lifestyle business. It pays my bills. It pays for my truck. I get to take my family on vacation once every summer. I can pay for school and food and that kind of stuff, but not much else. There's not a lot in the savings account, right? There's no huge marketing budget. There's not a lot of employees. It's a lifestyle business. And that's what Tim's grandfather, great-grandfather, father, they all had a lifestyle business. In fact, when he took over the business, they were doing $300,000 a year. There's a lot of people who be super happy with $300,000 a year. But I'm telling you right now, you're capable of so much more. And Tim knew he was capable of more. So he started working in the business and slowly putting the people, the processes, and the systems in place to build a business that he really wants. Now, the stuff that I share with you, by the way, he's shared with my audience. He shared with my people. And I'm telling you straight from the horse's mouth, straight from him. He's given me permission to share this. Now, $14 million business. You're probably, man, he makes so much money. Now, remember, there's employees to pay. There's material to pay. There's overhead to pay. There's Uncle Sam to pay. There's bills to pay. But I will tell you that on average, the business takes home, not what he pays himself. The business takes home over $2 million a year. Now, think about that for a minute. What if your business not generated $2 million a year, but you were able to take home $2 million a year? What would your life be like? The follow-up to that, of course, is would you be willing to put in the work to get there? Now, I'll be completely transparent and realistic. It's taken Tim about 20 years to get to where he's at. 20 years. Here's the fun part, though. Tim works in his office one day a month, not a week, a month. One day a month he's in the office. But I will tell you that he knows everything that's happening inside of his business. During this workshop, we talked about marketing. We talked about sales strategies. We talked about organizational strategies, teamwork, how to build a team, all of these things, right? We talked about all these things. And the cool part was Tim was in the back just piping up answers and solutions. And hey, this is how we do it. Really pouring into these guys. And it was really cool to see that a guy at that level understands the game completely different than anyone else does. Do I believe it's going to take you 20 years to build a very successful business? No, I don't. In fact, I know some people, I've had them on my podcast, some people who in 4 or 5 years have hit 8 figures. Super successful, right? That was just his story. Now, I'm telling you this because, one, I don't want you to get in your mind, it's impossible, I'm going to quit, I'm just going to go get a job, this isn't for me. No, I don't want that. What I want you to see is the opportunity. Now, we had a comment here. Let me scroll back through. Where's the comment about Justin, if you could pull up the comment about the people in the U.S., I think it was 332 million or something like that. Here we go. So Mike asked the question, right? There's approximately 332 million people in this country. Here's the crazy part. And by the way, we deal with this every week. It's a super basic question. How do I win more jobs? If I'm competing on price, you're not going to win more jobs. Like, I'm just going to let you know now. Maybe when you're starting out, you just need to grease the wheels and you need to get some testimonials and you need to get some pictures, some before and afters. Like, okay, fine, whatever. Take the jobs that don't pay a lot. But you have to understand, if you can't differentiate yourself from everyone else, they can't either, right? And I'll tell you, people pay for what it is that they want. They don't pay a price. So if they don't value you, they're not going to pay you. Let me repeat that again. If they don't value you, they are not going to pay you. And this goes back to mindset. Crazy part, right? I start this workshop and I bring Tim up and we kind of do this little podcast style. You know, I'm asking him some questions and kind of working through his business a little bit. And the audience is there. And he goes, hey, before we get started, can we do something real quick, a real quick exercise? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, completely unscripted. He goes, and he looks at everybody in the audience and he points at him and he goes, you each need to raise your price 5% today. Not drop your price, raise your price 5% today. And then he went through and he said, okay, how much would that be for you, Mr. Plumber? How much would that be for you, Mr. Remodeler? How about you, Mr. General Contractor? How about you, electrician? How about you, trim carpenter? How about you, landscaper? How about you, concrete guy? And 5% isn't that much, right? And all of a sudden there was this weird, and you could see it in the room, this weird mindset shift where people are like, wait a minute, I can sell the same thing that I'm selling. I can present the same way that I'm presenting. I can market the same way that I'm marketing. All things being equal, if I raise my price 5%, it puts an extra 5% in my pocket. Crazy, right? Now, whether they'll follow through on that or not, we'll see, and I'll keep you updated. But that's the way you need to think about your business. You are so valuable. A 5% or a 10% increase doesn't matter because they're not looking at price. Right? It's whether they can trust you. And Jason, thank you for joining us. Currently on vacation in South Carolina. Appreciate you being here on the show, even on vacation. So Jason here says, if they don't value you, they're not going to pay you. Boom. Like, that's it, right? So I want you guys to understand, today's a conversation really around mindset. But if you're struggling with price, it's because, one, you don't value yourself first, right? And two, other people then don't value you either. We'll send you the recording. If you want the recording from last week, we talked a lot about price and a lot about value. So if you guys need that episode, go ahead and drop it in the comments. We'll make sure you get your hands on it. Back to mindset, right? How do you build a 7 or 8 or 9 figure mindset? I'm going to go through that here in a second. But here's what I want you to know. Whether you're running a $200,000 a year business, a $2 million a year business, a $20 million a year business, all businesses run the same. You'll have different pain points depending on what level of business you have, but all businesses run the same. And I need you to see this, right? I need you to understand this. Ready? We're talking about one of them today. The first one is what we call leadership. Now, leadership has everything to do with you, right? It's your mindset. It's your skill set. It's your ability to cast vision, where the company is going, how you're going to get there, create the culture, provide the resources. That's leadership. If you're struggling with employees right now, it's actually not your employee's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault because you haven't learned to be a good enough leader yet. Now, that doesn't mean that when you learn to be a good leader that you don't have people problems. You will, but you will have a lot fewer people problems when you learn to become a good leader, right? So leadership, number one. Number two, marketing and sales. Now, I know we separate these out sometimes, but they're really conjoined, if you will, right? Marketing and sales. If you can't market and then sell what you're marketing, you'll never have a business, period. I don't care if you're selling ice cream to Eskimos, if you're selling pencils, on the street corner, if you're selling, $100,000 HVAC systems, it doesn't matter. If you can't market it, you won't get in front of the right people. If you can't sell it, they're never going to buy it. Therefore, you never have a business. So marketing and sales, always, regardless of the level of your business. Going back to our example with Tim, he has 7 different marketing channels that he uses every single year. 7. His marketing budget is approximately $2 million a year. Yes, $2 million, right? But I can tell you, he knows his numbers, he knows his margins, he knows his markups, he knows everything. But I just want to throw that out there. You're going to have to, and I am saying this in air quotes, spend money to make money, right? So what I say by spend money, that's either time or money, right? Because your time is money. So you're either going to be out there shaking hands, kissing babies, right? Or you're going to be spending money on pay-per-click or something like that. You're going to be doing something to market, but then you got to close those deals. I don't care if you have 100,000 leads. If you can't close the lead, you don't have a business. Okay. So we got leadership, then we got marketing and sales. The next one is what we call operations. What is operations? You guessed it. Doing the thing that you just sold, product or service, a roof, landscaping, remodel, concrete, HVAC, whatever the thing is, doing the thing that you said you're going to do. Now, I was on the phone with a client this morning. He does remodeling work and he calls me and he was just like completely bummed out. And I was like, what's wrong? And he said, we did a framing job for a client garage and my guys didn't check for mold. Now, this is an area where there's a lot of moisture. My guys didn't check for mold on the wood. So we framed the house. Well, the homeowner has got an allergy to mold. And she shows up and she sees signs of mold, right? So she gets all like worked up. And I mean, you guys know you've dealt with clients who have issues with work before. And he calls me completely distraught. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, you got one of two things to do. Do nothing and live with that being your reputation, or fix it. Figure out what you got to do to fix it. And he's like, do I charge her for it? I said, no, you don't. That was your screw up. Go fix it. And that's the path he chose. But the point is, your job is to fulfill the thing that you sold at the level that you said you were going to do it at. Right? Now, going back to leads and going back to price, understand this. If you don't do a good job, it's really hard to sell yourself as the guy that does a good job. If you don't have 500 5-star reviews, it's hard to stand behind a product that doesn't have 500 5-star reviews, right? I'm not telling you you're not good at what you do, but what I'm telling you is your ability to fulfill the thing that you sold directly relates to your ability to sell more of that same product. Right? Okay. So we got leadership, we got marketing, sales, we got operations. What do you think the next one is? Oh, it's the one that keeps contractors up at night. Money, 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 money. We should get that clip to play. Money, right? It's money. Think about this. Every night when you go to bed, you're thinking about the money in your bank account, or you're thinking about the money you're owed, or you're thinking about the money you owe. How do I know this? I'm a contractor. I know this, right? Same thing. You think about this stuff. And so if you don't have a system in place to make sure, one, that you're actually profitable on every job, two, that you're getting paid, and three, that you're paying your bills, whether that's to your suppliers, Uncle Sam, or someone else, right? You're going to be struggling and you'll never grow the business the way that you should. Okay. The last one, we used to call it personnel. I'm starting to call it teams because that's really what it's about, right? Teams. So we look at teams and we say, why are teams so important? Well, teams are important because I don't care how skilled of a craftsman you are, how skilled of a builder, remodeler, or trades business owner you are. I don't care. You will only grow to the capacity that you're able to handle. There's 40 hours in a week, technically, although some of you guys work 60 to 70. That's it. You can't add any more hours to the week. You got to sleep. You got to eat. You got to hang out with your family, right? You can't add any more hours. So you will be capped at how much you can make. That's when teams come into play, because teams, you can now duplicate yourself and therefore grow the business, right? These are the 5 most important things. Now, going back to the foundation, some of you guys are like, well, I'm just starting out, or I don't have a lot of money now. Totally get it. Totally get it. The foundation stays the same. If you're feeling overwhelmed in your business right now, start at the top. Leadership. I talk about leadership, right? So think about it. Is my mind in the right place right now to grow this business? And if it's not, you're not just going to turn around and do 10 push-ups and slap yourself a couple times and all of a sudden your mindset's going to change. No, you have to spend intentional time every single day working on your mindset. Whether that be reading, meditating, praying, exercising, pick a combination. We have our own routine. I'll share it with you guys some other time. But you have to work on your mindset. I will tell you, there's mornings that I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed. I don't. There's mornings I wake up and I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't. There's mornings that I wake up and I don't want to do anything. Nothing. Including talk to my wife and kids. There's those mornings, right? But I've created a routine that allows me to get in the right frame of mind so that I can come here like today and pour into you guys and give you the resources and the tools that you need to continue to grow your business. So mindset, number 1, first thing you wake up in the morning, don't check your phone. Don't check your emails, your text messages. Don't. Spend time. And if it's only 15, 20 minutes, so be it. Spend time working on your mindset. Going to sound crazy, but positive affirmations work, period. I had 2 things on my board, or excuse me, on my bathroom mirror. It used to be a board, but now I put them on my bathroom mirror. I had 2 things on my bathroom mirror. Always 2 things, right? Right now, my 2 things are buy a house, right? This next house. It's been on there for 4 months. And then the next one is inside of this business. We've got multiple businesses, but inside of this business is generate $80,000 monthly recurring revenue. Not generate $80,000, but monthly recurring revenue that's consistently coming in. Those are the 2 things on the board. Well, guess what? We're closing on our house at the end of this month, here in a couple of weeks, right? And the monthly recurring revenue is increasing month over month. Why do I say that? Because I'm focused on it. I see it multiple times a day. And therefore, my mind is constantly thinking now, am I doing the activity or the work that's going to take me there? Mindset. Okay. Now, back to leads. Not to beat a dead horse. Again, if you need the episode that we did last week, we talked a ton about leads. Drop your name inside of the chat that you want it. We'll make sure you get it. When it comes to leads, okay, put yourself where your audience is. Landscaper, cool. Where are people who, if you work with homeowners, where are these homeowners that need landscaping work? How do I get in front of them? If you're working with the remodelers or builders, cool. Where are they? Roofing, the same thing. Gutters, the same thing. Get yourself in front of the audience, right? That's the most important thing. So The first thing you got to answer, and trust me, we do this with 7-figure guys all the time because they lose focus on this. The first thing you got to answer is, who do I want to work with? And by the way, if you guys have questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'd love to answer questions. Who do I want to work with? You have to figure it out, because as a contractor, I'm going to put remodelers and builders to the side for just 1 second. As a contractor, okay, you're going to either work with homeowners directly, you're going to work with builders, or you're going to work with remodelers. Right? That's it. Maybe some industrial or government work, right? But we just call those, builders, if you will. So it's one of those 3 areas. So if that's who you're going to work with, you have to figure out, okay, what are their pain points? Where are they at? What are their problems? How much do they normally spend on something like this? What could I do with my product or service to make it different, better than everyone else, right? These are the questions you have to answer. If you can't answer these, then you're like everybody else. And you know what I'm talking about. You're probably part of a Facebook group that has to do with contractors or remodelers or something like that. And a homeowner will post in there, I need my driveway extended, looking for concrete work. And by the time you respond, it's only been up there for 17 minutes. By the time you respond, you're the 90-second comment. Well, what do you think the likelihood is that you're going to get the job? First of all, if I got 97 people or 92 people responding to me, I'm not going to make it through 92 before I pick somebody, right? Not the way to do it. So you have to figure out where they're at, how to get in front of them, how to build that relationship. Does that make sense? That's the first thing. The second thing is you got to figure out what it is that you're doing for them. Now, for some of you guys, it's simple. I'm replacing a water heater. I'm fixing a gutter. I'm extending a concrete pad. I'm laying sod. I'm re-roofing, whatever the thing is. But you have to figure out what you're doing for them, not from your perspective, but from theirs. Think about it. Why are you guys here? You're here to learn to run a business. But if all I said was, this is how you run your business, it wouldn't mean anything to you. But if I tell you how you can put more money in your pocket, you're going to be paying attention. Fair? So, leads, right? Leads are important, but leads come after the mindset. Get your head right. Then figure out who I want to work with. Where are they? How do I get in front of them? Then we move on to the sales process, right? If right now your business is not working the way you want it to, work it backwards. It's always going to come back to you. Always. Number 1 is you. Number 2, how are you generating leads? And balloons, apparently. How are you generating leads? That's the most important thing. Don't worry about my team. Don't worry about my truck. Don't worry about my website or my logo. Don't worry about the stuff that doesn't matter. I can tell you from experience, and this is how we teach most contractors before they hit 7 figures. If you haven't hit 7 figures, I'm going to highly recommend that you never spend $1 on ads. Highly recommend. Because if you can't generate business without money, how do you think you're going to add money and all of a sudden it's going to change? It's not, right? It's not. So you got to figure out what you're doing first and do that with the free version, and then scale it when you know it's working, i.e. when you've hit 7 figures. All right, we got a question that came in from Mike. What's one of the better, easier ways of getting your brand out to people when you don't know anybody? Good question, Mike. I'm going to ask a follow-up before I answer that, so you're going to have to be quick on your fingers here. Where do you live and what do you do? I want to make it more specific to you. So where do you live, Mike, and what do you do? Go ahead and drop it in the comments, and I'll make sure that we answer this. Now, brand. Brand is an interesting thing. I'm going to talk about this just briefly. Understand there's a difference between brand awareness and advertising. There's a difference. When you see Nike commercials during the middle of a sporting event, that is brand awareness. They're not expecting you to put the game on pause, run out the door, go down to the mall, and buy a new pair of shoes. They're not. Not the time. Brand awareness. What they're saying when they do brand awareness is, When you are ready to buy a pair of shoes, buy Nikes, right? Now, advertising, direct advertising, when someone's ready to buy is different, okay? If you're just starting out, do not worry about brand advertising. Now, that doesn't mean don't post on social media and don't get reviews. That's not what this game is about, okay? But you will build your business faster by people knowing you than you will people knowing your brand. I get it. It's 2024. We all want to be the next unicorn, check out this cool logo and this website and blah, 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 whatever. Mike, you're in Florida and you paint homes. Great. Do you work with homeowners? Do you work with builders, remodelers? Do you do commercial work? Like, where do you focus your energy and your attention? Now, I ask that because I want you to think about this. Okay. Painting. Who needs painting? Oh, I don't know. Everybody. All right. So who is everybody? Who do I want to paint for? And Mike, you know this. If you've been in the game long enough, and I've worked with a few painters over the years, there's the people who are looking to pay the least amount of possible to get the work done. There's those people, and that's fine. There's the people who want high quality paint that you don't buy at Home Depot, and they want a good price, but they want high quality. And then there's the people that don't care about price. They just want this particular shade of this particular color and done right. Okay. So who do you want to work with? That's what you got to figure out. Who do you want to work with? Now, let's just assume that you want to work with a higher class client. Well, you're not just going to be able to go knock doors and say, hey, I'm Mike. I'd love to paint your home. You're not going to get a lot of results. But what you can do, Mike, is in your area, and I don't know what part of Florida you're in, every state has licensing requirements for contractors, every state. And you can go search the database, right? I would go search for builders and remodelers. And then I would create a list and I would start to go through that list. And not just phone calls. I would start showing up at offices. My purpose would be singular: build relationships with builders and remodelers. Hey, John with, ABC Construction. My name is Mike. I've been doing this for, 10 years. I'm looking to get into build more relationships with builders. And I'd love the opportunity to get to know you a little bit and see what I can do to add more value to what you're doing for your clients. Wow. I'd like to have a conversation with that guy. Now, do I need to use him or not? I don't know. Maybe not. But the point is, you're playing a longer term game. Because if you get in front of or with the right partner, if you will, then what's the likelihood that they're going to keep using you? Pretty high. Now, let's say you want to work with homeowners. Well, you can go knock doors again and go straight to homeowners, but there's no trust factor there. So it's going to be really hard. Or you can say, who has access to a lot of homeowners? Well, realtors are a really good source. And by the way, this works with a lot of you as contractors, realtors. So you can look at realtors and go, hey, Susie, the realtor, I see that you sold 100 homes last year. I would love to be your painter of choice. What can we do to build this relationship? Now, I will tell you, having worked with a lot of realtors and connected contractors with realtors love to have people on hand that they can refer to quickly, but they got to be people that they trust. In fact, there's a couple of realtor groups here that I'm actually a part of, not as a realtor, but I'm part of their groups because I have access to a ton of contractors. And so they reach out to me and ask me, do you know a good painter? Do you know a good plumber? Do you know a good structural engineer? Do you know a good whatever? And I refer them over. Well, they refer them right to their clients. Why? Because I already built that trust for them. Does that make sense? Mike, a couple things there for you to be able to go start leveraging. But this is for all of you, by the way. Don't expect someone else to build your business. They won't. Don't expect someone else to build your business. They can't. It 100% depends on you. Again, number one, mindset. Get your head right. Every single day, spend time getting your head right. Number two, every single day, what am I doing to grow my business? Has to be something. After we finish up with my meetings today, I've got an appointment scheduled with the Home Builders Association. We're talking about creating an entire training library for them, building my business, right? Think about, what do I have to do today to grow my business? We got excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, Chappelle, I think, pressure washing. Look what he says. Perfect. I love realtors and property management companies. A lot of you, this is where you need to go, right? So don't be afraid to put in the work that needs to get done. Leverage the people who have access to your people. It will build your business faster than you could ever do on your own. All right, that's all we got for you guys today. Again, if you want our exclusive training on generating more leads, drop your name down below. We'll make sure that you get your hands on it. But more than anything, remember, you can. You can build a 7-figure business. You can build an 8-figure business. It's going to take clarity. It's going to take game plan. It's going to take work, but you can get there. All right, Justin, you got some updates here for us?
What's going on, everyone? So first, before we get into the updates, and we do have a couple big updates, Garrett, pick a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20. Let's go with 17. Drum roll. This is for the $50 gift card, in case you guys were wondering. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Who is it? Dun, dun,
David
dun.
Gulen from El Paso, Texas. DG
El
Finish
Paso?
Carpentry. Are you still here with us, David? We will reach out to you after this is over, and we'll get you fixed up. We set a Lowe's gift card. You can pick Lowe's, Home Depot, or Amazon. It's your choice. I'll shoot you an email, and we can get you fixed up.
Nice.
Big update
Congratulations.
from our side. We have a new and improved Contractor Plus Pay going live on the 21st. We are starting to onboard our merchants this week. WePay is owned by JP Morgan Chase. And when we initially built Contractor Plus Pay, we wanted to build with an authoritative brand that, had a good reputation. So we chose WePay. But WePay had, they're more for like e-com. They're not really for contractors. There's weekly limits of $15,000, lack of card present, just issues with payment delays. It's been kind of messy. And about a year and a half after we integrated with WePay, we shifted gears and integrated with another platform. And, that platform solved a lot of the problems that WePay had, like a lack of upfront underwriting, but there were other problems with it. And we realized the only way we can really deliver a payments experience that you're going to want to use is if we cut out the middleman and we deal directly with the processors. So good news, Contractor Plus Pay is getting a complete revamp. We've been working hard on it. We've added these card present Bluetooth card readers. You can scan, tap, swipe. We've reduced the processing or transaction fees down to 2.6% from card present transactions. So some of the lowest rates in the industry. We are also adding, I don't think we meant to click that. We are also adding, oh, there we go. We're also adding Plaid for ACH. So your customers can pay by logging in instantly. And we're adding just a whole lot of other features like instant payouts. If you want to get your money the same day, there's a small fee. You can have the money directly deposited right to your bank account through a debit card. All the features that our users have said they care about and that they need the most, we are adding to Contractor Plus Pay. So you will be getting, if you're an existing WePay user, we're starting there first. You will be getting an email or a text message from our customer success team this week, starting tomorrow. And we're going to get those applications in so that by Monday of next week, we're ready to rock. So be on the lookout for that email. And we will, yeah, that's great. So, and we will be reaching out with you or with this here shortly.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks. And guys, I don't know if you understand. I'll get back to you here in a second. I just want to drive this point home. I don't know if you understand how much work and effort Justin and his team have been putting in to getting this done for you, right? It's going to streamline your payment process. It's going to streamline your client's ability to qualify for funding, i.e. more jobs, right? And it's going to be able to put more money in your pocket faster.
That's the goal. You can't, as a contractor, especially a small business that's just getting started, you really can't afford to wait a week to have the money hit your account. You need to go pick up materials. You need to get the job scheduled. You need to make sure your client's satisfied with the work. And in order to keep your client happy, you've got to get the job started in a reasonable time frame. So we've been listening. We surveyed everyone a couple months back about what they need from payments. We took that all into serious consideration, and we've built a payments platform that we're really happy about, and we're pretty confident you're going to be happy about it as well. One last update from my side. If you're not doing anything this Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern, tune in to CNBC. Garrett and I will be on America's Next Investment. So CNBC Saturday at 11 p.m. Pacific. So that's like 2 a.m. Eastern. I know it's late, but then it airs again Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, or that'd be 3:30 Pacific. So 6:30 Sunday morning or 11 p.m. Saturday night. And we'll be on CNBC. We'll see you then.
Do it. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Remember, mindset, skill set, get it done.
See you next week, everyone.